2100 hours, Pakistan Standard Time. Assalamu alaikum. This is Radio Pakistan. The news read by Farzana Khan. First, the headlines. Prime Minister has warned that Pakistan would find it increasingly difficult to remain an active observer if India continues its military attacks along the line of control. Taking notice of flour shortage in the country, Minister for National Food Security and Research says the government is taking adequate steps to control rising prices of wheat and flour in the country. In occupied Kashmir, Indian authorities have further intensified restrictions in the name of security. Exposing India's worst human rights record, crimes against children and women, and freedom of expression, a renowned rating agency has declared it as fifth most dangerous country to live in. Iran says it will review cooperation with International Atomic Energy Agency if it faces unjust measures from the European Union powers. Pakistan won its first match of ICC Under-19 World Cup, beating Scotland by 7 wickets at Potchefstroom in South Africa today. And now the news in detail. Prime Minister Imran Khan has warned that Pakistan would find it increasingly difficult to remain an inactive observer if India continues its military attacks, killing civilians along the line of control, reminding the international community about Pakistan's concerns over any Indian false flag operation. In a tweet today, he said Indian occupation forces continue to target and kill civilians along the line of control with increasing intensity and frequency. He said in such a situation, there is an urgent need for the UN Security Council to pressurize India to allow return of the UN military observers group in India and Pakistan on Indian-occupied Kashmir side of the line of control. Earlier, in another tweet, the Prime Minister said his government faces the same problems faced by the most experienced and accomplished statesman of the Muslim world, Dr. Mahathir bin Mohamad, in Malaysia. He said Prime Minister Mahathir is confronted with an political party mafia that is bankrupted and indebted Malaysia, leaving state institutions devastated. Minister for National Food Security Khusro Bakhtiar has said that prices and artificial shortage of wheat and flour will come down soon due to the government's effective measures. Addressing a news conference in Islamabad this evening, he said the government is taking concrete steps to control rising prices of wheat and flour in the country. The minister assured that effective steps are being taken to stop smuggling of flour from the country, as smuggling of 40,000 tons of wheat to Afghanistan from Chaman border has been stopped. He said the government has fixed the price of the wheat at 1,365 rupees per 40 kilogram. Khusro Bakhtiar said Sindh province is witnessing shortage of flour due to its own policies and failure in timely procuring the consignment provided by PASCO. He said 9,000 tons of wheat has been sent to Karachi yesterday, and the government is ready to provide additional flour up to 100,000 tons to the Sindh province. The minister said additional flour to 4,000 to 5,000 tons of wheat will be supplied to Khyber Pakhtunkhwa province. He said that there is no shortage of wheat in the Punjab, as it has adequate reserves of wheat. Special Assistant to Prime Minister on Information and Broadcasting Firdaus Ashikawan says 368 sale points have been set up in Punjab to ensure smooth supply of wheat flour to the people. Addressing a news conference in Sialkot today, she said indiscriminate action is being taken against the elements involved in the hoarding of the flour. Firdaus Ashikawan said more than 25,000 tons of wheat is being provided to some 814 flour mills in the Punjab on daily basis. She said 400,000 tons of wheat has also been provided to the Sindh on the directive of Prime Minister Imran Khan. She said the Sindh government has shown negligence in purchasing wheat in time. Minister of State for Narcotics Control, Shahryar Afridi, has said that redressal of the grievances faced by the overseas Pakistanis is top priority of the PTI government. Addressing the imprisoned Pakistanis in Qatar during his visit to Doha, General Jared, he said the government will go in to any extent to ensure restoration of the sanctity of green passport. The minister was briefed by Director General Public Security Major General Saud bin Jassim Al Khulafi on the facilities being provided to the Pakistani inmates. This is Radio Pakistan giving you the news. Minister for Kashmir Affairs and Gilgit-Baltistan, Ali Amin Gandapur, has said that India has been involved in pre-planned collective genocide of unarmed Kashmiris for 7 decades. In a statement today, he strongly condemned the continued Indian state terrorism and said that the whole valley is bleeding as the Indian forces are killing, torturing, and perpetrating grave human rights violations. He said India wants to stop their eagerness of Kashmiris for their just right to self-determination through inhuman actions, but its nefarious designs will never succeed. The minister said Pakistan is highlighting the core issue at all international fora effectively, and it is success for Pakistan that the United Nations Security Council once again discussed the issue in its meeting. He said the world community, including Human Rights Watch, Amnesty International, are expressing deep concern over the human rights violations being committed by the occupation forces in held Kashmir. He said sacrifices rendered by Kashmiri people would not go waste and they would get fruitful results soon. Ali Amin Gandapur said Pakistan will express an effective solidarity with Kashmiri brethren on 5th of next month and will continue its political, diplomatic and moral support with the oppressed Kashmiri people till their success in their movement. In occupied Kashmir, Indian authorities have further intensified restrictions in occupied Kashmir in the name of security during a visit by a group of Indian ministers to the territory. According to Kashmir Media Service, people are forced to stay indoors and vehicular movement is largely restricted during the ongoing military lockdown and internet blackout on the 168th consecutive day today. Commenting on the so-called visit by the Indian ministers, Jammu and Kashmir National Panthers Party chairman Harshdev Singh, in a statement, said that this trauma has been conceptualized as a political gimmick by the BJP to whip up hysteria in its favor in the elections. APHC AJK leaders Mohammad Farooq Malik, Abdul Majid Malik, and the chairman of Kashmir Council Europe, Ali Raza Sayed, in their separate statements, denounced the statement of India's Chief of Defence Staff, General Bipin Rawat, about detaining the Kashmiri children in so-called de-radicalization camps. India has been ranked as the world's fifth most dangerous country to live in. The Spectator Index, a renowned rating agency, in a tweet released a list of the most dangerous countries for year 2019. The Spectator Index has rated the countries in view of the state of human rights, exploitation of marginal groups, sexual crimes against children and women, rights abuses, curbs on freedom of expression, and other social aspects of life. Iran says it will review cooperation with International Atomic Energy Agency if it faces unjust measures from the European Union powers. Speaking in open session of Parliament in Tehran today, Speaker Ali Larijani criticized France, Britain and Germany for triggering a dispute mechanism in the 2015 landmark nuclear deal with Tehran under the US pressure. Lebanese caretaker Prime Minister Saad al-Hariri has urged politicians to urgently form a new government and find solutions for country's economic crisis. In a series of tweets today, he called for opening the door to political and economic solutions. Earlier, Saad al-Hariri resigned as Prime Minister in October under pressure from a wave of protests. Many protesters were wounded last night during clashes between Lebanese anti-government protesters and security forces in the capital, Beirut. And now cricket. Pakistan beat Scotland by 7 wickets in the first match of ICC Under-19 World Cup at Potchefstroom in South Africa today. Pakistan bowled out Scotland, who opted to bat first after winning the toss for 75 runs in 23.5 overs. Pakistan achieved the victory target in just 11.4 overs for the loss of 3 wickets. And finally, the weather report. Mainly cold and dry weather is expected in most parts of the country, while very cold in northern parts and North Balochistan during the next 12 hours. However, rain with snowfall is expected at isolated places in northwest Balochistan and Gilgit-Baltistan. Fog is likely to prevail in plain areas of Punjab and Upper Sindh during night hours. To end the news, the main points once again. Prime Minister has warned that Pakistan would find it increasingly difficult to remain inactive observer if India continues its military attacks across the line of control. Taking notice of flour shortage in the country, Minister for National Food Security and Research says the government is taking adequate steps to control rising prices of wheat and flour in the country. In occupied Kashmir, Indian authorities have further intensified restrictions in the name of security. And that is the end of the news. For more news and analyses, log on to our website radio.gov.pk and also watch live video streaming of our bulletins on the link facebook.com/Radio Pakistan News Official.